Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? You are now rocking with Nina Capone on 10 Minutes to Talk, the show where we get straight to the point, no fluff, no filler, just real talk that gets you results. And today, we are diving into something every single business owner needs to master, and that's hiring the right employees to grow your business and increase profits. Now, many of you know me. I am Nina Capone, aka Jamila Laurie, the profit queen. We get into making money. And let's be real, the wrong person can set you back. They can drain your energy. They can cost you money. But hiring the right one, game changer for real. And guess what? My biz consulting can help you do it smarter, faster, and less stress because that's what I do. I'm going to get into all of that. So if you know, I am Jamila Laurie, owner of My Biz Consulting. And today I'm going to do a shameless plug. But before I even get into my shameless plug, let's get into when you should hire. Okay. First things first. When do you know it's time to hire somebody? A lot of business owners wait until they are drowning in work, stretched too thin, and making mistakes before they even think about bringing on someone. And that is the worst thing you could do. So I want you, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, you're out here doing your thing. I was giving some advice, which I knew was bad advice because I've been doing this for 20 something years. And they were like, yeah, uh, I wouldn't hire nobody. And I was like, that don't make sense. And in my head doesn't make sense. How are you a business owner? You wouldn't hire anybody. It just doesn't make sense to me. So be careful who you take your advice from. If this doesn't work for you, it's not for you. I get it. Keep it moving, keep scrolling, keep going to something else. But if you are an entrepreneur and a business owner and you're looking to make more money, increase profits, of course, I'm the profit optimizer, and take some time to yourself, be able to do something else like a podcast or what have you, right? So I want you to ask yourself these three things. Are you spending too much time on tasks that don't make you money? So literally, are you sitting around working on things that's not making you money? Are you turning down opportunities because you can't handle the workload? I get this with so many of my clients that come into my office and say, oh my gosh, I just got this big job, but I can't do it because I just don't have the manpower. I don't have the time. I would have to be there to oversee it myself. Yada, yada, yada. And I can go on and on, right? And are you spending more time in the business? Okay. And we'll get into this later as well. In the business and not on the business. Okay. You should always be updating and building your business out. But a lot of times you're actually inside doing the work. And we got to stop that. So if you answered yes to any of those questions, right? It's time to start hiring. And no, if you're from my hood, if you're from my world, if you're part of my tribe, I don't mean hiring your cousin's best friend's nephew just because he needs a job. We need the right people in the right seats, okay? We need people who know how to do the work, okay? So next, let's talk a little bit about hiring for revenue generating roles. Most small business owners make the mistake of hiring an assistant. Okay, make some noise if you hear me, because a lot of people do that. I need to hire an assistant. No, you don't. Or admin. I need an admin. I need an assistant. If your business is drowning in paperwork, then okay. All right, get you an assistant or an admin. But for most businesses, what I found personally is your first hire should be someone who can actually help bring in money. When I first hired a team of people, they were profit generators. They were profit generators. They were sales. They were accounting. They were bookkeeping. They knew how to go get the money. They went and got the money. I didn't have to figure out how I was going to pay them because they knew how to bring the money in. So I want you to think about it like this. If you're in sales, maybe you need a closer, right? So if you're out selling every day, but you like, okay, I don't have time to do this part, hire a closer so that way you can get those deals in hand. They'll handle the leads while you're actually focusing on the strategy. You got to break up the work. You can't do it all. You cannot do it all. There's no I in team. Again, if you're in sales, you need a closer. Let them handle the leads, focus on strategy. Let them, you know, you need to focus on you're the expert strategist if you're in my business. So you need to, I sit and focus on strategy. What's next? How are we going to do this? What is our sales point? Who's our competition? These are things that I focus on while my closers handle the work. If you run a service-based business, maybe you need another service provider. So if you're a therapist, you have a clinic, then you may need another therapist to help you actually increase capacity. So think about it like that. You know, hire for profit first. That's the bottom line. Hire for profit first. Your employees should help you make money, not just cost you money. A lot of times we say, well, I can't afford to hire nobody right now. That was my favorite line. I can't afford to hire anybody. What I should have been saying is I can't afford to hire anyone that I have to micromanage or anyone who's not going to bring money. Right? So let's talk a little bit about that. Finding the right people. Okay. And I want you to just take a deep breath when you're thinking about this, because I'm going into organizations now where they don't have the right people in place. And it blows my mind because we're hiring our friends. We're hiring our friends. I have zero friends that work for me. Okay. The reason being is because that's not the vibe that I wanted to create in my organizations. Right. So hiring isn't about just filling a seat. You want A players, people who are proactive, resourceful, and know how to get things done without you having to babysit. I don't want to hire somebody that I need to tell what to do every waking moment. And if you're saying, well, Hub, because I know I'm going to get some kickback on this, but I'm going to get into it. I'm going to break it down. So before I do, here's a quick test. When thinking about who you're going to hire, do they take initiative or do they wait for direction? I had a person who waited for direction, so nothing happened. And I couldn't understand. I give you this big giant opportunity to work for me, and you didn't take any initiative because you needed direction. It's not that this person wasn't a good fit. They literally weren't a good fit for our culture, for the culture of our company, because we need people who take initiative, who say, listen, I'm going to go out and look at these new businesses that opened up around the corner and see how we can help them. They need our services. I'll be back. I need that person. I don't need the person that comes into the office and sits there and doodles and reads and don't communicate that they don't know what they should be doing, right? And number 2, can they problem solve without running to you every 5 minutes? Things happen. Things happen in business. Crises happen, okay? And I'm always here around to support whoever works for me in whatever type of role they're in. I'm here to support you. I got your back. But listen, every 5 minutes when something goes wrong, you're calling me. That's a problem, because I'm constantly working. I'm constantly in meetings. I'm constantly presenting. I'm constantly podcasting. I'm constantly strategizing. I'm constantly doing something. Okay. So are you a problem solver? We need problem solvers. We do not need people who are sitting there with their hands folded, trying to figure it out. And if something goes wrong, they're stressed. They're more stressed than you, and it's your company. And do they fit your company culture and vibe? We may not think this is important, but this is so huge. My company is laid back. We're direct. We're straight to the point. We got that I don't play attitude, and the customer is not always right. Okay. We are the experts in our field. We're going to come in. We're going to tell you what you need to do. We're going to give you our expert recommendations. And we don't really expect for people to kick back and say, well, I come in. So for instance, let me just give you a better example. What I'm saying here is, if you're coming to my organization and you say, I want marketing, and I say, okay, well, let's take a look, because I don't believe in starting something without a foundation. So if you don't have SOPs in place, you have no business structure in place, then what are we marketing, right? So we want to help you fix all of it so the marketing works. The marketing doesn't work if everything else is falling apart. It just doesn't, right? So we want to make sure that the person is not afraid to let you know, hey, that's not what we're going to do. That's not what we're here for. No, that won't work. And of course, in a good, pleasant, calm, explanatory way. Not rude. We're not rude people, but we want to make sure that people understand, hey, we're the authority here, and we're going to make sure that we get, because our goal is to make it work for you. I don't want to come in and do a half job. I just don't. I want to make sure that it works for you, that you're getting what you need out of, are paying us. Your ROI, your return on investment is everything, right? If you say, hey, I need more customers, well, we want to make sure you get customers, but I don't want to make sure you get customers while we're here literally doing the work. I want to make sure you get customers after we're gone. I want to make sure you get customers consistently. I want to make sure your brand stand out, right? So this is what we come in to do. If you knew how to do it, then you can come in and instruct me. And then more than likely, you just had your own agency, so you wouldn't need me. Here's the thing. Skills can be taught, okay? So if they don't have the skills, you can teach them. I'm big on training and teaching you how to obtain these skills. But if you don't have the work ethic, the attitude, or the drive, yes, those three things. So, and the way that I feel about it is you either have them or you don't. Those things can't be taught. Work ethic, attitude, and drive. You can see this when sitting with a person for less than 5 minutes. Okay. So just make sure the person that you hire have those three things. The skill set you could teach. I could teach you how to be a strategist. That's easy. But if you don't have the work ethic, the attitude, or the drive, then baby, just keep on moving. I ain't for you. Next, the hiring process that works. So how do you actually find these A players? Okay. This is the fun part. This is where it gets tangled. It gets a little crazy. You need a system. And here's the quick breakdown. You want to write a clear job description. You want to be upfront about what you expect and what success looks like to your organization. You want to use pre-screening questions. And this helps you to weed out time wasters. Before you can even interview, you want to make sure that you're interviewing the right people. You don't want to have someone come in and, like, well, I did social media. I'm not a social media agency. Although we do some social media work because it's a part of the marketing process, we're not a social media agency. We are a marketing agency. Okay. So with that being said, if you don't have the marketing skills, the knowledge, then you're wasting my time. Skills tests or paid trial work. Okay. So a quick project. I always say this, let me have you come in, do a quick project to see if you can actually do the job. The job is not hard. And of course, I'm here. I got your back. I always got my people back. This is what I do. Just to see if you can do the work. If you can do the work, then hey, and you got the right attitude, the right work ethic and energy, then let's get it. If your vibe is on, my vibe is on. Culture fit interview. Okay. A lot of people forget this part. They want someone to come in and just adjust to the culture, and that's just not going to happen. So do they match your values, right? What are your company's values? What are your personal values? And, do they match that? The work ethic. Do they have the same work ethic as you? I am a known worker. Okay. Their energy, if your energy is super high through the roof like mine, and your person that you're interviewing is like kind of sluggish, just low tempo, doesn't really engage in conversation, one word answers. I'm a talker. I need you to, if I ask you a question, I need the full breakdown of that question. Don't ever feel like you're talking too much to me, because I want that energy. I love it. It tells me and reassures me that you know what you're doing. Final decision interview. Okay. This is where you make sure they are the one. You go through that final interview, and you ask the hard questions. You put them in scenarios. In this process alone, the pre-screening, the trial work, the culture fit, the decision interview, and the job description actually will save you time, money, and headaches. Because Lord knows you get headaches when you're dealing with people, and you got to tell them what to do. Next, let's talk about the smartest hiring move. Okay. Remote office-based employees. This is what I have. I'm not recommending anything that I don't use myself. So for the last 8 years, and I just got my life together over the last 8 years, although my company been around for almost 15 years. The last 8 years, I figured it out. It took me some time. It takes time. So now that I know what some of y'all are thinking, hiring is expensive. I already know hiring is expensive. The salary, the benefits, the overhead costs, it all adds up. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. You don't have to hire locally. And again, we want to create jobs in our community. Absolutely. I'm 100% down with that. But everything ain't for everybody. And you got to make some money before you can hire local, right? So you don't have to settle for freelancers either. Now, I know you guys thought I was talking about freelancers. I'm not. I'm not talking about freelancers. Okay. So let me put you on game. My biz consulting can help you hire remote, full-time, office-based employees that work directly for your company, but without the HR headaches, the overhead, or the data security risk, right? Because I feel like freelancers put your company at risk, because there's so many caveats, there's so many things that can happen, to put your company at risk, and you don't want that to happen. You want to have a legitimate person that works directly for you. So I'm not talking about some random freelancer working on from a coffee shop. I'm talking about a dedicated full-time professional working from a secure office environment on a compliant device. And I know I'm saying a lot, but this all matters. And so what does this mean for you? We're taking some things away. Payroll stress. We handle that. You ain't got to worry about that, right? Training nightmares. We take care of that too. You don't have to worry about training them on specific softwares or different the way that you do things. You just tell us what you do and what you want, and we got you. No data security risk. Your business is protected, okay? Because that's important, not just for my business, but for the businesses that we actually staff, okay? And serious productivity, because they are committed to your company, okay? They're committed to working for your company. When they take a call, it's thank you for calling My Biz Consulting. This is Nia. How can I help you? Y'all like that voice? I throw that on every now and again. They're not juggling multiple gigs. They're working for you. And this is how smart businesses scale without breaking the bank. So if you're still thinking all hiring has to happen in-house, you're leaving money on the table. And I need you to go ahead and get your bag and grab that money off the table, because that's not what it's about. Okay? The hard part. Before I go, I have to talk about when to let someone go. Okay? And this is just reality. This is the reality of it all. It's not the cushy, hugging, loving part, but we got to be realistic. Sometimes you make the wrong hire. It happens. But keeping the wrong person around too long can get very expensive. I'm seeing this so much right now. People are just holding on to someone to not hurt their feelings, not to ruin their livelihood, not to so many reasons. And I respect it, but yeah, we got, it's business, right? It's business first. So here's a few signs that it's time to let someone go. They constantly need to be reminded to do their job. This is my number one pet peeve. If I have to continuously remind you to do your job, then I feel like this job ain't for you, because you should know your job at the very least. Now, the extra stuff I get, we all have our day. Shoot, I forget to do my job sometimes, but it's not my norm, right? So that's one of the things. That's my biggest pet peeve. I should not have to tell you to check email. Check email. That's the norm. That's something. Answer the phone. Check your voice messages. If you're in our marketing department, update the queue. Let us know what you're working on. We all need to know, right? They aren't, and here's another one. They aren't bringing value. Okay. This is crazy because I see it a lot. A lot of people have a ton of staff and they don't bring any value to the company. And that's simply, if they left tomorrow, nothing would change. Like, because they're not doing a job anyway. Like, for me, I had someone and I felt like they didn't bring any value to me. I was doing a job anyway. I was still doing the work. It didn't matter. And then lastly, they don't fit the company culture, or they cause drama. I don't like drama at all, at any level. I am a private person, so I don't sit around and talk about my personal business. I am goal oriented. I stick to the goal, I stick to the plan, I strategize. If it ain't about work, I don't want it in my office. I don't want anybody who's on the phone constantly texting or engaged in a conversation outside. This is work. Work is work. You being on the phone for the majority, especially in our office environment, or even on a call, and you're like, you have your significant other or a friend or whatever on in your ear while you're working for me. I have a huge problem with that. And that will be time for you to go. That's a sign for me to let you go, because I feel like work should be, your work hours should be dedicated to you working. Find something to do. I should not have to tell you this. So if someone isn't working out, cut the cord fast. Don't let them drain your business. Let them go. Let them go so you can find someone that makes more sense. Now, I know I done went way over time, because I always do. So before I wrap up, I just want you to know, hiring the right team isn't just about filling positions. It's so much bigger than that. It's about building a business that runs smoothly, makes money, and gives you freedom. You need your freedom, right? Because that's why you started a business, right? If you got value from today's episode in any way, I want you to hit that share button. I want you to tell your friends. I want you to make sure you're locked in with Industries Radio, and just make sure that you're tuned in to these episodes. These 10 minutes of talk is so valuable. And I know so many people who get a lot out of these episodes. So I just want to continuously share this information. As long as I can, I will. And if you're serious about scaling your business with the right people, reach out to My Biz Consulting. We are at mybizconsulting.net. Let us help you hire remote office-based employees who could save you money, protect your business, and drive real growth, because that's what it's time for. So until next time, I ask you to stay hustling, stay winning, and stay in the streets, y'all. It's your girl, Nina Capone, with another 10 minutes of talk. I want to thank y'all for listening, and have a wonderful, wonderful hump day.